return.
Whoops, I think we accidentally started playing the first NXT WarGames pay-per-view instead of the sequel, because the war returned a year ago.
How many times am I gonna have to beat down Kairi Sane?
Aside from one occasion, it was always the other way around when it came to Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane.
For WarGames II.
Where's the 2 in the logo, though? Also, why are we labeling these sequel TakeOver events but forgetting to label the sequel events for all the other WWE pay-per-views?
NXT's version of the Fantastic Four.
NXT's version of the Fantastic Four. Not even close.
For the NXT's Infinity War.
First, Mauro Ranallo says this is NXT's version of Fantastic Four, but then Nigel McGuinness says this is NXT's version of Infinity War. The Fantastic Four was not even in Infinity War. Also, the commentators already used up the Infinity War references when it came to that ladder match in New Orleans earlier this year.
You don't just win war games.
Impromptu segments and matches on an NXT TakeOver event? I thought NXT knew better than that. I've been proven wrong once again. So this guy is Matt Riddle, a guy who claims to be the king of bros. Zack Ryder would like to have a word with you. Free sandals, folks! Bro. Really?
Got a ring. We got 2 rings.
Oh my god, how much longer is this promo gonna be? Matt is really trying to take all the time in the world just to say where they are and what they have in the arena. Also stating the obvious, no shit we have 2 rings, the event's called WarGames.
And I'll knock you out in both of them.
Matt Riddle ultimately forgets to throw Kassius Ohno into the second ring later and knock him out there too.
Bro.
Seriously, you're making me hate the word bro.
You are too stupid to know you're not supposed to be out here.
Kassius Ohno would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion, but then again, you're not supposed to be out here either, so it's a two-way sin. I'm sorry, was I supposed to be impressed by that? You could clearly tell that was gonna happen the moment Kassius taunted Matt. Also, for every second this random impromptu match existed, here's a sin.
We're gonna get back to regularly scheduled programming.
In other words, it took 10 minutes for this event to officially begin following the opening video package.
2 out of 3 NXT Women's Championship.
2 out of 3 NXT Women's Championship? So are Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane competing for 2 out of 3 different versions of the NXT Women's title tonight? That's what it sounds like from Bacho Ranallo's perspective. Seriously, is Kairi gonna pick which version of her entrance theme she wants to use, or are we just gonna keep going back and forth?
That's Baszler Bay.
Baszler Bay. Shayna once again channeling her inner Goldberg, coincidentally on the first TakeOver of 2018 and the final TakeOver of 2018.
There are 206 bones in an adult human skeleton.
Well, thank you for the school lesson, Mauro. I was totally wondering how many bones were in an adult human skeleton.
Baszler!
Early on in this match, do you really want to march away from Shayna? Bad strategy, Kairi.
Wait a second.
Nigel could see Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke arrive before the cameras could even pick it up. And the commentators are on the far side of the second ring, away from where the action is located. So even if they were not looking at their monitors, they still wouldn't be able to see them coming. The annoying ass-kissing commentary of Percy Watson.
2 straight falls for...
Kairi clearly kicked out twice, and it's only the second time when the referee actually realizes it. What an idiot. No one cares what's trending.
So I don't think we'll see a submission victory out of this.
You never know, Nigel. A submission could occur at this moment, even if it obviously doesn't. I'm just saying, submissions could happen at any time.
Baszler, the former mixed martial artist.
Thanks for the random reminder that Shayna Baszler is a former mixed martial artist, something we've known for the longest time by now.
She's enjoying the punishment she's inflicting.
No shit, Sherlock.
And all.
Wow, Shayna said before that she was gonna kick Kairi's ass, and it looks like she lived up to her promise. She literally kicked her ass.
Why now?
These are some of the slowest punch throwing I have ever seen. It looks like drunk punches to me.
First ever 2-time.
Shayna clearly leaped over the top rope on her own accord, whereas Kairi had nothing to do with it despite pulling the rope down. Here comes the first of what is likely many center movers tonight. That DDT on the apron was brutal.
Spinning.
A single spinning punch to the arm and Shayna is knocked unconscious. I'm sorry, but that doesn't sound believable to me considering the way Shayna competes.
Somebody's got to do something about this.
As much as Percy's whining irritates me, I gotta agree with him on this. The referee is not doing the one thing that he should be doing, kicking out Jessamine and Marina. Sorry, Mauro, but you should really save the Mamma Mia catchphrase for the most epic moments rather than constantly shouting it multiple times in one match. If I were Kairi, I would have done a little more damage on Shayna before going for the elbow drop again, because Shayna had many minutes to recover. I call bullshit on the victory considering Kairi's shoulder came off the mat not once but twice, so that's a double sin there. Hey look, it's the guy who called me out with so much ignorance on knowledge about how the sins concept works. Hey look, it's X-Pac! The fact that Tommaso Ciampa committed vandalism and got away with it.
Look into my eyes. You'll know your answer.
Did people really believe that Johnny Gargano didn't assault Aleister Black just because he told William Regal to look into his eyes? Because that basically just gave it away.
I'm the hero at the end of this story.
You are never a hero because a hero actually wins the war in the end, something you have yet to accomplish. Dropping valuable technology equipment. What a dick.
He doesn't think he did anything wrong.
Well, if Johnny Gargano believed that he didn't do anything wrong, then why did he hide from the reveal that he attacked Aleister? The answer? He obviously knows what he did was wrong and is lying to himself and everyone else. Again.
WarGames is presented by...
Skip! Those horns on Aleister's jacket makes an epic addition to his look and entrance. That's another sin off.
Record 11th TakeOver.
I would be impressed that Johnny Gargano is appearing at his 11th NXT TakeOver event, but his win-loss record doesn't exactly help this. Most people chant fight, fight, fight because they want to see two guys fighting and think it's awesome. I chant fight, fight, fight because I'm tired of seeing anything but physicality in the ring.
Oh, he's Gargano!
What an idiot.
From Gargano!
What in the freaking hell was that supposed to be? Oh my lord, that was embarrassing. Force punches are not exactly cool to see. Copyright infringement.
Whoa!
Aleister could clearly see Johnny running around the ring to the other side and didn't once think that he would be attacked from behind again, and after Johnny had already assaulted him from behind months ago.
Physically into this...
Aleister reacted a little too late from that stomp. Stomping the ring canvas apparently caused Aleister's head to hurt even more. Did turning to the dark side cause Johnny to gain magical powers or something?
Johnny Gargano feeling himself.
Ha! Giggity!
Whoa!
Johnny's arm is definitely in a lot of pain after that, but let's be thankful that Aleister missed the rest of him, am I right?
Points of his limbs! Oh!
It's extremely impressive to see Aleister flip like that, and I want to remove sins, but the problem is he keeps missing his target.
This is very personal!
At this point, pretty much every match on an NXT TakeOver is personal. Hell, we should label a future event NXT TakeOver Personal, with extreme stipulations on every match. Holy crap, I just came up with an epic idea!
Johnny Gargano that sends Gargano!
Johnny Gargano that sends Gargano? Bacho Ranallo is on fire tonight.
Tope!
There we go. Now we're picking up on some awesome moments in this match. Let's deduct 2 sins for that moment.
You're not the chosen one!
Well, this clearly proves that Johnny is not the hero in this story, because the hero doesn't monologue when his opponent is in position to be finished off.
You can't get the job done, Aleister!
Coming from the guy who has lost 85% of his matches throughout his 11 NXT TakeOver appearances.
13,000!
Commentator states the number of fans in attendance as though we even care cliche. I've been doing this job for nearly 5 years and I stopped caring 4.5 years ago. Johnny is now on the apron connecting the 2 rings together, but I'm going to ask something that I think I asked in last year's NXT WarGames Sins video. What would happen if either of these 2 suddenly went into the other ring? Would the match continue on that side? Quit stalling time! Johnny honestly deserves 3 sins for slowly lifting up Aleister, taunting him, and then posing for the fans before actually trying to win the match. I'm starting to think he loses his matches on purpose. Johnny actually falls for that. No surprise there. You might as well rename him Gullible Gargano, or GG for short. If you constantly taunt your opponent when you have the chance to finish him off instead of finishing him off, you deserve to lose. And people ask why I don't like Johnny Gargano. Jesus, that's 3 sins removed for more intense brutality. Perfectly timed knee from my view. Begging for mercy. Johnny Gargano and his apparent foot fetish. Also, this is just further humiliating himself too, so skip! I'm tired, let me use your boobs as a pillow. Good night, Aleister. First he mimics the real American Hulk Hogan at NXT Chicago 2, and now Velveteen Dream mimics the NWO Hulk Hogan at NXT WarGames 2. Point is, Velveteen is a ripoff. Is that you, Taz? Title hugging. Rest so please, rest so please, rest so please. Seriously, the last match gave me a headache with the staring.
Like that, he's got to keep his eyes on the prize.
Percy Watson would be great at Simpsons 2 expansion. Is Velveteen Dream seriously getting offended or shocked that Tommaso Ciampa stole his headband? Like, it's just a headband. You probably got thousands of them. What's losing one going to do to you? Also, this scene involving Tommaso taunting Velveteen with his headband goes on for quite some time. Excuse me, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Let me know if they stop playing around and actually start wrestling. Title theft, so this is what it's come down to. A battle between 2 thefts of the other's belongings. Really?
Wow, Dream!
Tommaso was already starting to fall before Velveteen could even connect the double axe handle. The first 5 minutes of this 20-minute match is either a battle of thievery, taunts, or poses to the crowd, with hardly any wrestling. It gets better later, but it should really be good from the first bell to the end bell. Stop taunting the audience and win the NXT Championship, you sexy moron! Good lord. Should have hit the leg drop when you had the chance, dumbass. Gosh darn it, it seemed that the 10 chants during countouts have been long forgotten, but as usual, I get hit with a dose of reality. And the reality is, the infection is still here.
Ciampa.
Tommaso's punch is strong with the force.
Circle. And remember that.
That knee knocked out Velveteen, and Tommaso has the chance to retain his NXT Championship, but instead of doing that, he stands there doing absolutely nothing, giving Velveteen precious time to wake up and recover.
Cover him!
Nigel McGuinness would be great at submissions to expansion, even if he was cheerleading Tommaso. What do you think you're doing, stupid dumbass?
He's in no rush to finish this match.
And he may live to regret that.
I'm the main event!
Unfortunately, tonight you are not the main event, considering you are not a participant in the upcoming WarGames match. Any other time when you're in the main event, that catchphrase would make sense.
Remember, he
Ew.
Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay, this is something I've been meaning to ask for a long time. What is the true pronunciation of this name? Is the first name pronounced Tommaso or Tommaso? And the last name, is it really Ciampa or Ciampa? Like, seriously, I keep hearing so many renditions of both his names to the point where I don't even know which is the real one anymore. 2 successful leg drops, but sadly the third one missed Tommaso completely. I guess Velveteen didn't get a successful hat trick. Don't feel bad, the Los Angeles Kings couldn't get the job done either. Wah, wah. Another case of begging for mercy. Coincidentally, it was Tommaso's former partner Johnny Gargano who last did that in this video. Well, that's gotta suck. Bet you wish you had the hold locked in while you were in the ring. And to all who say that Velveteen should have won, do you not understand that Velveteen was out of freaking bounds? Study up on your knowledge of the rules before you say who should have won.
Ciampa's trying to do
I don't know what the hell I just saw, but I'm removing another 3 sins for that. Holy crap, this is awesome.
Hold on.
You're disgusting, Tommaso. We don't want to see Velveteen's ass. That had to be super awkward for the referee getting a full moon while noticing Tommaso was pulling the tights. Heel champion attempts to leave/use the champion's advantage to get himself counted out or disqualified and retain his title cliche. And in a great match like this one, we don't have time for that crap. The referee clearly saw Velveteen use the NXT Championship on Tommaso and didn't call for the disqualification for whatever reason. Do your job. Tearing up the ring mats has become a fetish for Tommaso at this point in his career.
This is what the sick SOB deserves. God.
Well, that's what you deserve for calling Tommaso a sick SOB and saying he deserves everything Velveteen is dishing out to him instead of calling the match down the middle like a commentator is supposed to. This likely didn't affect Tommaso that much because Velveteen hit the Dreamer Driver on some extra padding. Should have done it on the concrete to make it more epic. Screw it, here's 10 sins removed because this match is so freaking awesome and full of unpredictability. Removing another sin for this song because those double bass kicks are awesome and this song is awesome. Reminds me of my days with my former band.
Escape or leave the cage.
Just like I said last year, why can't we have a roof on the cage like the original WarGames match in WCW? Or have the match only end by submission to make it more interesting? Because I still believe that winning a WarGames match by pinfall is such a cheap and easy victory. With Adam Cole competing first, so I guess we interrupt NXT WarGames 2 to bring you the first NXT WarGames. I would have removed a sin, maybe even 2, if either Hanson or Rose suddenly grabbed Bobby Fish's arm and started yanking him against the shark cage. That would have been hilarious. Well, considering Roderick Strong was an honorary member of the Authors of Pain during last year's WarGames match, I guess it's only fitting that Pete Dunne and Ricochet are honorary members of the War Raiders in this year's WarGames match. I wonder what may happen if we do this again next year.
And again, this is not the official WarGames match.
We know, Morrow. It's been explained many times already in the last 5 minutes.
Less cost.
The bell rang before the referee could even signal for it to ring. This is ironic to the saying, "This is my ring," because in this case, both Ricochet and Adam Cole have a ring to themselves.
The NXT Skywalker.
NXT Skywalker.
The Lions, though, facing off.
Ricochet didn't even shove Adam at all, who decided to throw himself into the ropes for whatever reason.
Man who has no fear.
This wrestler competing has no fear cliche. If you're a high flyer, I think it's pretty obvious that you don't have any fear of risk taken in the ring.
It will be.
The rule is obviously stated earlier that only one member of each team can be released at each interval. If the entire Undisputed Era actually thought that they could all enter at the same time, they're a bunch of morons.
With more chemistry than a science fair.
More chemistry than a science fair? Morrow has got some weird comparisons here.
And done. Whoa!
Hanson is a dick to Pete Dunne. Also, considering the fact that Pete was the closest to the cage door, shouldn't he be the one who exits first? He was first in line, so that's the way I see it. Also, are you telling me that this team didn't devise a strategy on who gets to enter with each turn? If I were them, I would have done that instead of winging it.
Corner clotheslines.
I laughed so much when Hanson kept running and yelling to both Adam and Kyle O'Reilly. Here's a send-off for the hilarious comedy of this match.
Hanson teaming up.
Haha, Ricochet accidentally kicked Hanson on the way down.
Again, no pinfalls or submissions.
Please, Morrow, stop it. We know how the rules of this WarGames match goes, and we hadn't heard a stating of the obvious when it came to the match rules all night long until this one.
And it's gonna be what?
Roderick Strong is a dick to his own pendant.
Strong with a strong effort.
Wah, wah.
How's it feel?
I don't know how it feels to be Ricochet right now, but I know that it feels horrible to see constant taunting instead of chaos.
And by the way, WarGames yet to officially begin.
Do I seriously have to create a bonus round of the many times that Morrow states that the WarGames match has yet to officially begin? Does he think we're stupid and not know how to read the rules?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
No one likes a rhymer, Morrow. Somewhere, Daniel Bryan just got a look of jealousy next to his new sinister grin after seeing Rowe hit the running knee on Adam. Well, it would have been face first if Adam actually did hit his face out the cage. It was actually hands first. If I'm being honest, I think the entire broadcast of this WarGames match should only take place with this camera since it has the perfect view of both wrestling rings and it destroys the chance of missing some potential epic action. Must lock Pete Dunne into the cage so that we can have an excuse to make this match go on longer than it really should be going. Gotta pad the runtime to near 50 minutes somehow, so let's waste the next 8 minutes focusing on Pete trying to get out of the cage. Also, Bobby does realize that the match can't begin unless Pete is inside, right? So, does this mean the Undisputed Era intended to keep this WarGames fight going on forever with no intentions of actually starting the match? Also, how would this strategy work? If they leave the cage over the top, they'd automatically lose and they can't win unless Pete is in the cage too. This strategy is full of flaws and is a lose-lose situation if you think about it. Their logic sucks. The more I see the referees not trying to stop Bobby Fish from locking in Pete, the more I cringe. Like, seriously, he's not going to listen to you if you just yell at him. Try to actually get him away from the cage, dumbasses.
He's got the key!
You know, the referee should really consider getting spare keys just on the very case that a situation like this occurs. The fact that the Undisputed Era took time off their hands to spray paint their logo on 4 chairs is weird as hell. Better yet, focus the action only using this camera. What's so wrong with that?
It doesn't officially start.
Kyle using the chair as an air guitar.
My key doesn't work on this one.
Once again, you ever consider the idea of spare keys or leave some bolt cutters on standby just on the very case that something like this happens? Idiots. Will somebody please smash him against the cage so we can stop saying that all the time? Both Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly clearly saw Pete Dunne grab a kendo stick and didn't once consider the possibility that their hands would get attacked.
Wait a second!
That was the most embarrassing kendo stick shot to someone's hand if I ever seen one before. That stick was nowhere near Adam's hand and yet it somehow hurt him. This really is feeling more like last year's WarGames event. And if the wrestlers are going to throw weapons into the ring, why couldn't we just have the cage already loaded with weapons before the match began just to save the trouble of throwing them all in? Whoever the hell that was that said alright hit me. We're in the middle of a WarGames match, no time to tell us what the obvious #1 trend worldwide is. Besides, we already seen that 4 times tonight. Where the hell did Pete Dunne find a damn chain? He clearly didn't take the chains that were locking him at the shark cage, nor did he pull a chain from underneath the ring either. We got a real mystery on our hands, folks. Someone is potentially getting annihilated by a kendo stick, but we're just going to focus on Pete trying to rip Kyle's fingers off instead. Can we get another view from the overhead shot, please, so that we don't miss any more action? Are we sure we're not watching the first NXT WarGames event? Because I'm seeing so many references to that show in this match. So much deja vu. Just that. Hanson was slammed ass first onto the steel floor, and while he did land on Kyle O'Reilly, his ass hit the steel floor first, and thus logically it should have taken the most damage. Then again, this is the WWE where logic doesn't seem to exist apparently. Bad, Hanson! The fans are likely chanting for the tables because all the wrestlers in the cage have likely forgotten about it at this point in the match.
He just got the better of it.
Ow, my hands!
Pete Dunne!
And remember,
Kyle can't even wrap the chain around Pete's foot. This goes on for quite some time. I guess it wouldn't be a WarGames match without one pair of wrestlers trying to replicate what another pair are doing on the other ring. No fair, Ricochet had a head start. What do you bet Hanson was thinking? Oh yeah, we've had tables inside the cage for the last 15 minutes. Why didn't we think of using them earlier? Hanson can't even set up tables properly. Reminds me of that one time when The Miz failed to set up a table for Randy Orton 8 years ago.
the first team to score a pinfall. All 8 superstars struggling.
Actually, from the looks of things, only Adam is struggling. Everyone else is either knocked out or barely stirring. Adam does remember what happened last year, right? He climbed to the top of the cage and got superplexed for his troubles as a result. Does he honestly think that climbing to the top of the cage once again is going to help his case? I guess some people don't learn from their mistakes.
Tell me I'm a liar!
You're a liar. What? He told me to call him a liar. What did you think I was going to do? Okay, that was a little cool. Here are a few sins off for that. Ricochet's double moonsault was no doubt an epic and surprising moment, and I'm throwing away another 15 sins for his determination to make an epic moment. And mission accomplished. Although I'm adding in a sin because he sadly only hit 20% of the competition in that exchange, whereas everybody else just fell down for the joy of falling down. After all they've been through, and they're still standing. Got a lot of respect for all 8 of these competitors, so here's another 8 sins removed. Respect well deserved. Whatever the hell that was supposed to be. Wow, anytime someone of that size does something like that, my jaw drops in absolute amazement. Here's another 3 sins off. The ending of this match is a really hilarious sight considering Pete is exhausted and rests his head on Adam's coals.